Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Pundit says Arsenal star was the best player on the pitch versus Liverpool. Earle and Robbie Mustoe were in agreement over Declan Rice after the midfielder's performance for Arsenal in their draw with Liverpool on Saturday. The Gunners came through another tricky test, leaving Merseyside with a share of the points against their Premier League title rivals. Ian Wright was amazed by Rice's performance, and Craig Burley suggested that Rice was one of Arsenal's best two players alongside William Saliba. No one would have been surprised by the 24-year-old's display. Rice has not yet had a bad game for Arsenal, and he stepped up in a number of key moments, scoring crucial goals against Manchester United, Chelsea and Luton. And speaking on the Two Robbies podcast, both Robbie Earle and Robbie Mustoe suggested that Rice was exceptional in the 1-1 draw. Earle said, Declan Rice was unbelievable in that game. Mustoe replied, best player on the pitch. Earle added, by a mile, his composure, he was trying to control things, put his foot in, he was covering centre-backs, remember the time with the breakaway, and Trent Alexander-Arnold hits the post. It was Declan Rice versus 5 Liverpool forwards. He looked like a Hollywood idol, like he pulled out a sabre and said, come on then, I will take the lot of you on. He was in another mode. It was a remarkable moment when Rice had to try and hold off the Liverpool attack. His Arsenal teammates would have been forgiven for giving up on trying to get back given how bleak the situation looked. Obviously, the Gunners were grateful to the ball bubbling just before Alexander-Arnold hit his strike, but Rice perhaps deserved that slice of luck for doing all he could to keep the Reds at bay. Arsenal have such a strong spine to their side. William Saliba is arguably the best centre-back in the league. Meanwhile, Gabriel Magalhaes has been excellent alongside him, and with Rice just in front of them, there are not going to be many centre forwards who enjoy playing against Mikel Arteta's side this season. Frank Leboeuf says £27 million Arsenal player is even better this season. Frank Leboeuf believes Arsenal defender William Saliba is an even better player this season. William Saliba started for Arsenal on Saturday evening as they picked up a 1-1 draw at Anfield. The 22-year-old scooped the Player of the Match award on Sky Sports after a commanding display at centre-back. Arsenal's only goal of the game came from his defensive partner Gabriel Magalhaes as the Brazilian netted with a well-taken header in the 4th minute. It wasn't enough to earn the Gunners a statement win at Liverpool, but Mikel Arteta's men are proving to be a tough side to beat this season. Indeed, Arsenal only suffered 2 defeats at the halfway stage this term, and that is largely down to their brilliant defensive record. Saliba has once again been a standout performer at the back after impressing in his first full season last time out, and Frank Leboeuf believes the Frenchman is performing at an even higher level this season. Speaking on ESPN FC, Leboeuf lauded Saliba after his display at Anfield and even joked that people in France believe he could play further up the pitch alongside Martin Odegaard. He said, the guy is tremendous. He is even better than last season. I saw that even when he had the ball, he was so clever. On the French television, they say he should play alongside Martin Odegaard as a number 10 because he knows exactly what to do with the ball defensively. The guy is so strong while being helped by his teammates. We cannot forget the others are working very hard as well, and Gabriel was very good. Saliba has been a revelation for Arsenal over the past 18 months, and the £27 million they paid to sign him back in 2019 now looks like a modest fee, to say the least. The France international has transformed Arteta's backline, and he continues to put in brilliant performances in the big games. He was named as Arsenal's best player against Liverpool yesterday, alongside Declan Rice. Of course, Arsenal suffered massively last season after losing Saliba to an injury at the business end of the campaign. Arteta will be hoping to avoid a similar situation this time around, and at this moment in time, it could be argued that Saliba is Arsenal's most important player. Pundit says 22-year-old Arsenal player looks a shadow of himself this season. Robbie Mustoe has suggested that Gabriel Martinelli is looking like a shadow of his former self right now after watching the winger in action for Arsenal in their draw with Liverpool on Saturday. Mikel Arteta may be content with a point from their trip to Anfield, but there will be a couple of areas which will be causing him concern ahead of the second half of the campaign. Zinchenko had a really tough time up against Mohamed Salah, and he was not the only Arsenal player to struggle on Merseyside. No player who started the game for Arsenal had fewer touches than Gabriel Martinelli, according to who scored. Admittedly, he was the first Gunners player to be taken off during the game, but that arguably tells its own story. Martinelli featured in 7 single Premier League games before the end of December last season, and there was only one occasion by the stage where he had been replaced by the 70th minute. This term, however, he has not completed 90 minutes since the 1-0 loss to Newcastle in early November, and Robbie Mustoe told the Two Robbies podcast that he is concerned about Martinelli's form. He said, "I'm just thinking of a team that's going to be a champion, go and be a champion in this Premier League, and I think if Arsenal want to be champions, I differ from you in a couple of these spots. Yeah, there is potentially a better Arsenal team, given Declan Rice isn't there, but Martinelli is a shadow at the moment. He is a shadow of his normal self. His numbers are nowhere near the same." Martinelli has scored 2 goals and provided 2 assists in the Premier League this season. By the turn of the year last term, he had scored 7 times while also providing 2 assists. Obviously, Arsenal are still top of the league, so that takes some of the pressure off of the 22-year-old, but it will be a worry that he has been much less influential. ESPN Pundit tears into poor Arsenal player after Liverpool draw. Craig Burley has not held back in his criticism of Zinchenko after Arsenal drew with Liverpool at Anfield on Saturday night. Salah can make anyone look foolish on a football pitch, but Arsenal fans will be particularly disappointed with how Zinchenko tried to deal with the Egyptian before the goal. Anticipating that Trent Alexander-Arnold was going to attempt a long ball to Salah, Zinchenko dropped right off, ignoring the line his teammates were trying to play, and when Salah picked up the ball in the corner, Zinchenko let him inside way too easily. It seemed that he feared bringing the forward down inside the area, as his attempt at a challenge would have barely registered with the 31-year-old, and Salah took full advantage to equalize. Certainly, Craig Burley was not impressed by what he saw from Zinchenko throughout the game, but particularly for the Liverpool goal. He told ESPN the following: "I thought he was poor. I thought he was absolutely poor on the ball, and I think Declan Rice bailed him out on at least one occasion from that little Cruyff turn, and I have no doubt bailed him out on many more occasions with his position. But in terms of the goal itself, let's deconstruct a great ball over the top. He is already 3 or 4 yards deeper than the high line Arsenal have got, so he is the one playing Mo Salah inside. There is his first mistake. Then when he gets back into play, the angle is terrible for Mohamed Salah, and I heard it described this side of the pond on TV as lax defending. It was absolutely abysmal. It was embarrassing the way that he lazily dangles balls a leg out, and Mo Salah easily skips past him. It was a great goal. I wouldn't fault David Raya at all on this occasion, but it boils down to really bad defending. But there is the thing, he is not a very good defender. It's one of the reasons Pep Guardiola got rid of him. He is not a good defender, and I didn't think he was very good on the ball either. So, not a very good day at the office for Arsenal's left back, in my opinion. BBC Pundit says Arsenal have a £90,000 a week talent who picks up lovely positions on the pitch. Arsenal forward Leandro Trossard earned praise from BBC Sport pundit Stephen Warnock during the 1-1 Premier League draw away at Liverpool. The 29-year-old Gunners attacker came off the bench on 68 minutes to replace Gabriel Martinelli, who struggled against Jurgen Klopp's Reds. Trossard gave a decent account of himself in his cameo appearance on Merseyside, offering more of a threat than Martinelli had before him. Warnock, speaking on BBC Radio 5 Live, praised the Arsenal substitute and explained what he hoped the Belgian would be doing in the game. He said, "He does pick up some lovely positions. He is not going to be hugging the line. He is going to wander and pull Konate out and also try and get close to Gabriel Jesus as well. He is going to try and alter the way they attack this Liverpool backline." Trossard didn't have long to make an impact, but Arsenal did look better on the left flank when he was on. The £90,000 a week ace will certainly fancy his chances of starting against West Ham next Thursday in wake of Martinelli's downturn in form. Arsenal began brightly against Liverpool and were ahead within the opening 4 minutes of the game at Anfield. Gunners defender Gabriel Magalhaes headed home Martin Odegaard's free kick to silence the home crowd. However, Liverpool grew into the game and restored parity just before the half-hour mark through Mohamed Salah. The Egypt international latched on to a perfectly weighted Trent Alexander-Arnold cross and easily beat Zinchenko before hammering the ball high into the net. Both Arsenal and Liverpool had several chances to pull further ahead, including a golden opportunity for Arnold following a frantic 5 versus 2 counter-attack that ended with him hitting the bar. In the end, both sides shared the spoils, resulting in Arsenal topping the table on 40 points, Liverpool in second on 39 points, and Aston Villa in third with the same points tally but a worse goal difference. Arsenal won't give up on talented £53 million rated Barcelona target. With the January transfer window just around the corner and Arsenal still sitting top of the pile in the English Premier League, it would be a perfect time for Mikel Arteta to strengthen the Gunners further. The Spaniard will surely want to ensure that what happened in the latter half of last season doesn't occur again, and to that end, picking up players for key positions is a must. If injuries begin to bite, any transfer groundwork done in January begins to look like very good business indeed. According to Football London, Arteta still wants to strengthen his midfield options despite having signed Declan Rice for a club record fee in the summer. One player that they are keeping tabs on, though, it's highly unlikely they will be able to procure him in the first month of the new year, is Real Sociedad's excellent Martin Zubimendi. The outlet also noted Barcelona's long-standing interest in a player that manager Xavi is believed to admire. Both clubs might well be out of luck, however. To this point, Zubimendi has steadfastly refused to leave La Real, and that stance would appear to remain if his £53 million release clause is met. However, there is little that the club can do from that point, and any transfer away strictly comes down to the will of the player. Arsenal aren't giving up, but may find this one difficult to get over the line. Arsenal could soon open talks with rival club for their world-class striker. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal could make a bid for Brentford striker Ivan Toney, That's according to journalist Rudy Galati, who has reported on X Arsenal's plan regarding the England international. So, what has been reported about Arsenal and Brentford striker Ivan Toney? Let's take a look. Well, according to Italian journalist Rudy Galati on X, Arsenal are interested in signing Ivan Toney from London and the Premier League rivals Brentford in the January transfer window. Galati has claimed that Arsenal have already spoken to Toney's entourage and could soon open talks with his club Brentford. Toney, who has been described a world-class player by former Man United goalkeeper Ben Foster, is serving a ban at the moment and will not be able to play until January. The striker has scored 32 goals and given 9 assists and 68 appearances in the Premier League so far in his career. Arsenal are aiming to win the Premier League as well as make a big impact in the UEFA Champions League this season. In my view, Arsenal are being smart about Ivan Toney. As a journalist Rudy Galati has noted, the Gunners have already spoken with the striker's entourage and now they could open talks with Brentford. The January transfer window will open in a matter of days. It's clear that Arsenal want to get a deal done early. After all, the Gunners are in the race for the Premier League title this season. Every single game matters. It's going to cost a lot of money for Arsenal to sign the 27-year-old striker, though. There is speculation that Brentford value the England international at £100 million. I personally do not think that Arsenal should not pay that kind of money. Meanwhile, Team Talk has reported that Luton Town could send Albert Sambi Lokonga back to Arsenal in January. The 24-year-old midfielder joined Rob Edwards' side on a loan deal in the summer of 2023. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.